Welcome to another video. In today's video, what I want to cover is how to become a kick-ass coach. While we are not really helping people to become coaches, we have been on the journey of being coaches, and we have coached lots of different people, and we have improved along the way. And so I thought, it was still maybe a good idea to put this out there, so some people who are interested in becoming coaches, who are thinking about it, maybe have heard about it in some article, or some friend of yours or somebody has become a coach and you're thinking about it, well, this is how you can become a fantastic coach. Now, in this video, what we're looking at is simply the skill base. We're not looking at how to build a business out of this. That's a whole nother topic. How do you get good at it? Well, number one, you get coached yourself. For me personally, this has made the biggest difference. Because when you get coached yourself, you understand what it means to go through change. You understand what it means when your deep held beliefs are being challenged. You understand what it means when there's discomfort arising and there's someone there holding the space or pushing you very slightly a bit deeper, right? Or over pushes. I mean, if the coach makes a mistake, for example, right? You understand that, and it will help you immensely. Plus, when you have the experience of being coached, those things that you have experienced, they flow into your work yourself. Now, of course, you still have to make them your own. You can't just copy your own coach because some of it may not work for you because of a different personality, you have a different way of expressing yourself in the coaching. So don't try and become the copycat of this person, but still it can find its way into your work, and it can adjust your work in very profound ways. So this is absolute key, is to get coached, to go through some kind of change work. It doesn't have to be called coaching, it can be called something else if you want to, but any kind of change work that you go through yourself will immensely help you. Which brings me to the second point. The second point is to engage with self-change, right? Where you are the one who is doing the change work on yourself. Now, there's fantastic systems out there like The Work by Byron Katie or the Sedona Method by Lester Levinson, which I have both engaged with and I have played with and tried, and they've been very helpful. And this will give you a deeper understanding of how your psyche works and what's happening and how to tackle certain problems, how to state certain problems and then question them. And again, that will help you with your work. And they are very simple systems that you can implement, and you can even use some of those bits and pieces or the whole system if it's appropriate in one of your sessions, right? The difference is that when you have someone working with you, they are highlighting your blind spots, for example. They are reflecting back something to you. There's two energies that are coming together to help you and to change your life, right? And that is very powerful. And when you are doing self-change with a system, that falls away, and you have to rely more on yourself and bringing that focus towards yourself. And that is really, really vital because it will give a different aspect. It will like when you forge a sword, right? And you fold the layers of the metal in order to harden it and to make it resilient. This is almost like you folding another layer into your change work, into your coaching practice for the future. The third one of those points is to spend lots of time just by yourself. I have done this extensively, where I have spent days without any structure, any direction, any distractions, and I've seen what kind of comes up. And I've had some of the deepest insights during this time. And when you remove even the structure of a Sedona method or a Byron Katie kind of The Work method, and you just with yourself, suddenly there's nothing to hold on to anymore. And you have to find a way of how to engage with whatever is arising within you. And that has been extremely helpful for me. That has really, really shaped a lot of the work that I'm doing right now. Because if you're some kind of person that you admire because they're a fantastic coach or change worker, maybe they're still alive or maybe they're dead, who knows, and you want to be like them. Well, if you want to be like them, you have to put in the work like them. And a lot of those great people have gone through tremendous change themselves. and you're not going to be like them by just following them. Yes, go out and learn their systems, learn what they have learned, implement them, and make them your own. But you need to go and get down dirty, right? And when you spend time by yourself, things that you have been avoiding, they will come to the surface, and you will have to find a way to deal with them, and you will learn how to deal with challenging things. So those are 3 things. The 4th thing, of course, is do get a certification and do coach. A certification can be quite useful because it gives you certain tools that you can start out with. I just recommend that you do not get attached to those tools and thinking the tools are the magic. The tools are never the magic. You are the magic with the client, right? The client has the magic ultimately in themselves, but when you bring yourself into this, there's an interaction happening, and that is actually much more important than any kind of tool that you can learn. Which is why this whole self-change and getting coach is so important, because you're cleaning up your own act. You're learning to be able to hold the space even when there's very strong emotions rising up. For example, when you spend time by yourself, that can come up, very strong emotions, and you learn to hold that, and you become aware, oh, that's something coming from me, rather than just from the interaction, something I'm feeling in the client. So when you get a certification, be aware that the tools are useful to get started, to experiment with, to play with, but don't get attached with them. And of course, coach people, work with people, see where they're at, see how you can help them. There's sites out there like Coaching Exchange, you can put it into Google, or Coach Me Free is another site where you can offer your services for free. I have done that for quite some time. Even when I was already getting paid, I was still on those sites. I might even go back at some point and to do some coaching, because there's always, when you learn coaching, it's a craft, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. You get different people reacting differently to you and what you're doing, and so that's all really, really useful. Now, in terms of certifications, I can't really recommend too many of the certifications, because I haven't done too many certifications. I have done a lot of certifications in the hypnosis world, but when it comes to coaching, I haven't done too many, so I'm not too familiar with the space. However, what I can recommend is that if there is a certification that has a background in 3 principles, that is very, very useful, because the 3 principles, they use more, or they look at more how your experience is being created moment by moment, and with that also certain problems, rather than going in and fixing the content of the problem, which is what most coaching and hypnosis focus at, is content change, while that is actually a step even further removed, and you're not looking at the content so much as how that is created in the first place. And very deep, profound insights can come from there, and very deep transformations that you can help people with by pointing into this direction. So that is, I think, pretty much it for this video on how to become a kick-ass coach. I want to reiterate that you and your grounding and your understanding and you going through change is the most important asset you will ever have as a coach. Absolutely, hands down. Your life experience, your difficulties, your challenges, your deepest wounds that you have been able to heal, they will turn into treasure chests. So do not underestimate this, and absolutely no certification can offer you what you can get when you hire a coach yourself, when you go through self-change, when you go and spend time by yourself. There's absolutely nothing that can replace this but yourself. So if you're serious about becoming a coach, start with this. You don't have to go right away and get a certification. Go and get coach, for example, at first, right? Or join some membership or whatever, right? There's tons of ways that you can already get started without having to go and quit your job and then be like, oh my God, now I need to learn coaching and I actually still need to build a business, because that's also an aspect of that. And that's something I really want to make you aware of. If you want to become a coach, you have to learn how to run a business, okay? So make sure you become business savvy before you go and quit your job or go into this whole journey, because it takes some time to learn all those different skills, so they come together and they form a foundation where you can flourish as a person, as a business, financially, as well as spiritually, emotionally, mindfully, who knows. Anyways, thank you for your attention. If you like it, then hit the like button, subscribe to us, We are looking forward to have you on other videos, and thank you so much for your attention.